Good evening. It's Wednesday. You know what that means.
We're here.
Time for some pounding the meat. Ethan.
And I am ravishing.
Hello, sir. We were
What up, Ethan?
stroking that ravishing Rickford earlier, so.
I'll make you happy because
Big eggplant, Ronnie Fields. Yeah, we are finally back from our extended Christmas vacation.
Yeah, Bears. It's been a while.
It has been a while. A lot has changed since we were last on. We haven't been on since last year.
Jeez. It's been crazy.
I take it. I know we've talked obviously
Christmas
but
past.
I hope all of our guests have had a wonderful holiday.
Yes.
Back to the grind, back to work. You guys got a lot going on in your neck of the woods. You got TikTok being banned in a few days, a new president coming in. It's chaos over there. But at least you've got your Raw on Netflix.
Yeah.
But you guys got commercials. I don't, so it sucks to suck.
That's what
Some
the
got
VPN
commercials
coming
and
for.
some don't. Like, it's
Really?
weird.
Like in the States?
Yeah, I got a buddy who lives approximately 5-minute drive from me. No commercials.
Interesting.
I have
Now, does he have a
commercials.
higher tier subscription?
I have the highest tier.
And you got commercials.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Joey, did you have commercials?
I do. I don't mind them. I mean,
Kind of used to them with Raw anyway. But
Right? Like, people just want everything kind of
it's
instantaneous, right? You want to watch their wrestling like they're watching a movie kind of thing. You're going to get commercials.
but if we've been paying, but if I pay for more for no commercials, I should get no commercials.
That's a good point. I
maybe
don't get any commercials.
Should do that because, I'm saving like a lot of money switching from cable to YouTube TV. So, I'm pretty happy. More money in my pocket.
Absolutely. We got a lot to talk about tonight, guys. We'll start off with the switch to Netflix and just how you feel it's been going so far. We'll talk about a couple other things. Jones's favorite wrestler of all time, Hulk Hogan, and the controversy surrounding him, and Penta's WWE debut. And then I have a fun little game that's unplanned that you guys have no idea about that we're gonna play a little bit later.
Yeah, this little prick wouldn't tell us backstage.
No, I got to keep it interesting. Jones might be the head of the meat, but sometimes I got to surprise you guys. So, without further ado, the ratings have not dropped for this week. Are they really going to drop every single week now, or is that just because of the first debut episode?
The first episode, you're always going to get the highest rating,
Yeah,
no matter
For
what.
sure.
But
Right, and
I don't expect much of a drop off because you teased the debut. Everybody knew who was coming. It was the worst kept secret of all time, like they said. Hell, they released the merch before he even showed up.
Absolutely. His shirt, his masks, his luchador masks. If you don't know who we are talking about, I know that's not Joey's boy in Fight Forever. It's his brother, Ray Phoenix, but
I do use Penta, though. I do like
You
Penta,
do.
but Ray Phoenix and me, it's a deadly combination.
it is. We'll never play you again in Fight Forever because Fight Forever is dead.
But I
But
say, why are you playing the game in the first place?
we've got the memories at least.
I may have deleted it.
I don't even think we're going to talk about AEW at all tonight unless it's in relation to Penta. But 2.6 million US viewers on the first episode of Netflix. 4.9 million. Was it 4.9 million around the world?
And it went
Global.
Up, it
Global.
went up. It went up since then. To
So there you
5.9.
go.
Because they're still counting the people who be able to watch it. The fact that you can still watch it throughout the week is crazy now.
I think
Was
right
it-
after the stream ends,
Yeah.
you can rewatch it, which is amazing. That's so cool.
You can actually even rewind it, I believe.
That's one of the things, so when I left cable and went to YouTube TV, when I finally made the switch, if you, don't record SmackDown or Raw, whatever, when it was, on USA, it's not a 2-liter. It's a 1 liter. The next day you could watch SmackDown because it was on the demand. I was like, wow, this is different. With cable, you had to wait like a week or two.
Yeah.
Something.
Usually takes a while for the cable company to upload the file, but with
Plus,
streaming, man.
what's
So
the difference?
see
I
a
do
lot
like
of
how
a lot
they
of people
edit
aren't
all the
happy with
Raws.
it. A lot of people aren't
What?
happy with it.
What?
I've been reading online just because King J. Sean is in the house. Good evening, sir. We're just talking about the move to Netflix and the pros and cons to it. A lot of people are, I think, for the most part, very pleased with it. It's now reaching a global audience. It's much more accessible worldwide. But there are those that they want their wrestling on cable TV. They want to be able to just turn on the cable TV, turn on the USA Network, and be able to watch wrestling the way they have been watching wrestling for the last 30 odd years.
Listen, times are changing. Okay. It's going in the streaming way now. And it's funny you bring that up because I was reading an article today about UFC, which is Endeavor. So their partnership with ESPN is coming up soon. Do you know how much UFC wants per year?
I have no idea, but I can imagine, but I'm not even going to guess, Joey.
$1 billion.
Holy.
That's actually not that bad. All things considered, that's not that bad.
So, I mean, they have a negotiated period with ESPN. I think they could stick with ESPN. But, I mean, like I said, man, it's going streaming. Everything's changing. Yeah. The times are changing, just like we'll talk about this in a little bit. Like wrestling has changed from when we were younger to now. You just have to adapt and evolve.
And if you don't, you're going to be left behind. If you don't change with the times, you're not going to get the positives that come out of this change. I like the fact that I can rewatch it right away. Mm-hmm. For me, if I'm not watching it live in living color, I'm going to tune in if I have a bit of time afterwards, or just skim through the file, skim through the show as quickly as I can. This past week, people were also up in arms that, oh my goodness, the show ended and it was only 2.5 hours. I don't mind that. Personally, Jones, what are your thoughts on whether or not Netflix is a full 3 hours or if it's a little bit shorter or a little bit longer?
Right now, we're used to 2 hours. So them going 3 hours last week was a plus. Them going 2.5 hours this week was a plus. I don't need every show to be 3 hours. At this point, your pay-per-views are around 3 hours, so your shows don't have to be 3 hours as well. Most other promotions only give you about an hour to 2 hours anyway. And by other promotions, I'm most exclusively referring to MLW, ASI, and TNA. Those are the only 3 promotions I'm referring to right now.
TNA is now on Sportsnet 360 here in Canada. This is the best deal that company has had, I would say, since they were on Spike TV. I know our population is not nearly as large as it is in the States, but for us, it's much more accessible and it's a wider audience coast to coast. Mm-hmm. This is the best deal that they've had in many years, and I wish them all the success. They've got some good things cooking up, and we're going to see that partnership continue with NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and NXT was still under the WWE umbrella, so you get 2
Absolutely.
hours. I don't know if anybody watched last night. There was a hard cut at 10 o'clock.
There you go. That's on the CW network. You're going to get that hard cut on the USA network. They might have the odd overrun here and there, but Netflix is a different beast. Streaming in general is a different beast, and you got to get used to it. Got to keep up with the times. It is not the 1980s anymore, is it? I think that's in the past. No. And with that being in the past, this gentleman right here, I don't know if I can say gentleman.
What the hell? Damn.
We're gonna sing along. Where's the?
You're now
I'm
listening
stretching
to
down and Jones hurts inside.
You're
Jones
listening
was-
to the theme from the USA Express, so I don't know what the problem is.
Jones was hurting inside, but he wasn't hurting inside when Hogan nearly got booed off the stage.
Here's the thing.
Sure.
Well, I wanted to bring up something about Raw on Netflix because I got passed over, you know, 'cause we haven't been.
Sorry, this
So,
no
listen.
rhyme or reason anymore.
I was shocked that it ended 2.5 hours. You know, when the match ended, I'm like, whoa, what time is it? 10:30? But then you read reports. They're on Netflix. They're not on cable no more. They have no time constraints. They don't have to end at 11 o'clock no more, 11:05, whatever. Raw may end in 2 hours next week. The week after that may end in 3 hours. I read that Triple H loves the 2.5 hours. Like, he thinks that is perfect. But it just depends how the show's going, what's going on, what's happening. So I like it because it's a mystery every week. You don't know when the show's going to end, which I love.
So long as Hulk Hogan's not on my screen,
Oh, man, let me tell you.
I'm happy. If it's a 2-hour show, for me, that's better. I don't like the 3-hour show. I never did. Maybe it's just because after 3 hours, I just can't sit still much longer to watch the whole thing.
I think it was Monday Nitro was the first one to go to 3 hours, I think. And that was like long for me. Like, I was like, gee.
I can't do it, man. If it's 2 or 2.5 hours, I'm all for it.
I don't mind the 3 hours because I enjoy wrestling, but I mean, it just depends on my mood, you know. If it's keeping me entertained, then yes.
So let's look at this past week with that main event with Finn Balor and Damian Priest. It's a pretty good match. Would you have liked the show to continue afterwards, or did you feel that they hit the sweet spot after that intense match and cutting it at 2.5 hours?
The time didn't bother me. It was just an awkward out because I wasn't expecting that to be the way it ended. I was just like, okay, something's happening after this, and just was like, credits. Oh, okay.
For those of you watching our show live, do you prefer a 3-hour show, or do you like the kind of uncertainty, or do you want to do you hope that the show is 2 hours or so? Let us know in the comments below. But yeah, I don't really mind. I think because it's still
do after it. Yeah.
I would imagine that the last 30 minutes of the show will be for the live audience. They're going to get some good dark matches and still be able to go home at a reasonable time.
Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, they could have had Hulk Hogan on for the last 30 minutes.
They could have.
Easy cutoff.
Juan says 2 hours and
Agreed.
change as long as the show flows well. I think that's the key. And you guys said that. If the show is flowing, if it's got good chemistry, if the matches are solid, and it's just got a good back-to-back sequence, then yeah, you can go that 2 hours or then something. It doesn't have to be a 3-hour show.
But I love it because you don't know when it's going to end. Like, it's...
Bob says, hell no.
Okay.
Hell no. I can only assume that that's hell no to the 3 hours, or it could be hell no to the 2 hours. So be a little bit more specific there, Bob. But if Hulk Hogan is on our screen for that extra 30 minutes, I'm going to tune out. And I hope that they learned from the debut episode and that segment. Should be done when they're done. Also, how do you not know that the main event was going to be at the end of the show? That was their highlighted match for the week. There's nothing to see after that. It's a good point there, Bill.
If you're taking a shot at me, you need to leave the show. But what I was saying was I didn't know it was going to end like that is because usually they give you more. The main event doesn't always end the show.
Yeah.
Sometimes
you're a rookie to wrestling if that's what you're implying.
Sometimes you could have had like a brawl. You could have had like Drew Punk and like Rollins brawling backstage, and then it
I was going to
spills
say sometimes
out.
it's a backstage segment, right? Before the camera's cut, before the executive kind of pops up on the screen. Punk and Seth with their promo earlier in the night, it could have very well carried over at the end of the show to give you that hook. I feel like there wasn't much of a hook on this week's episode because the match ended. Damian finally got his much needed win over Finn. And I'd like to imagine, because it ended in that way, that feud is now over. And Damian can move on from Finn, and we can see him either back in the title picture or do something else other than beefing with his former partner. But yeah, there was no hook really afterwards. It could have actually, especially because it ended 2.5 hours, they could have had another segment afterwards. So to that comment, just because the match is the main event doesn't necessarily mean that that's the end of the show. And I think to our earlier point, because we're so used to that 2 hours, or we're so used to that 3 hours, that cut at 2.5 hours was a little bit weird. Having Monday Night Raw end at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time was a little strange.
So I'm attending the Monday Night Raw after the Rumble. All right. And so I'm attending. I just found something out. I know who Bob is. So I'm attending the Monday Night Raw right after the Rumble, 2 nights after the Rumble. Like, now I'm like, dang, like, will that one be 3 hours? Or will it end at 2.5? Like, I'm very interested.
Yeah, you can't tell what you're walking into.
No.
I like that. It kind of creates that suspense. You don't know if it's going to be a full 3 hours. You don't know if it's going to be a 2 hour show. I highly doubt it'll be anywhere less than 2 hours. People people would then get very upset if they paid for their hard. Oh my goodness, that's pretty funny. Let's see what Bob has to say. Bob says, when you go to Raw, I bet you can't wait to see the green shirt guy. Probably because Joey's a mark and can't wait to see the green shirt guy. Oh my
Thanks,
goodness.
Bob.
Damn, Bob. These fake profiles are running rampant. Nothing's changed in the new year.
Oh man.
My gosh.
This is great.
Joking aside, I think it'll be really good, but please, dear God, sweet Jesus, do not bring Hulk Hogan back on the show, because Saturday Night Main Event is coming up, not this Saturday, but the following Saturday on the 25th, and there's speculation that he will be there. I hope not. I hope not, because I'm sorry, that wasn't heel heat. That was more than go away heat. That was get off my TV. The fact that he was saying guys' names like Andre the Giant and Macho Man and still being booed as hard as he was, like that's crazy.
Smithers, are they booing me?
No, they're saying Boo Earns. Boo Earns.
Are you saying boo or boo earns?
Poor Jimmy Hart. Jimmy Hart, man.
Did you see the fan video from in the crowd, like when he was filming it?
It was worse.
So, I'm watching it, my son and the wife. And the wife goes, man, I feel sorry for him. And I'm like, you're probably the only one. She goes, why is that? I'm like, if you only knew.
Yeah. Now, what is it? There's a lot of speculation, and there's been a lot of talk in the last 2 weeks. Why does Hogan have that go away heat? Because I'm an outsider kind of looking in. I'm not an American. I didn't vote in the election. I don't think it's politics. I really don't. That's just my opinion. I know it was in Los Angeles, but LA used to be Hogan's city. They used to cheer for Hogan for years. So for them to say, no, it's just a more left-leaning place, that's why they booed him. I think it's so much more than that. But I'd like to hear your thoughts on that, guys.
You know what? Thinking about this, Jones, I may have to send you this.
Why am I even here? You waiting for me to say something, or
The
should I
floor
go
is open
first?
to my American friends.
would you say, Joe?
Should I go first or you?
It doesn't matter. I already know exactly what I'm going to say, so it's
Listen, I'll say this. I don't think Hogan was expecting to get booed like that.
Oh, Bob!
So, listen. Understanding it was in California. I'm not going to get into politics because we don't do that on here.
No, we don't.
But, like, it's just like, I'm sure it's more than the politics side. I'm sure it's everything that Hulk has done in the past. Now, if they're smart, they would have Hulk Hogan come out as Hollywood Hogan and just still be heel. Because even though the crowd's booing him, they're still going to keep booing him. And you know, as a fan, legit heat is good heat. Just saying.
Michael Jones, your thoughts?
I feel sorry for Bob.
this has nothing to do with politics, like it's been stated. This is past transgressions of Hogan, Mr. Bolea, getting what he deserves based on what he was recorded doing. Whether he knew he was being recorded or not, it got out. What he said is unforgivable. So it's not like I'm not going to forget it. Yes, I know there are plenty of other wrestlers who are very racist. Have they all been exposed? No. Those that have been exposed, I don't cheer for. I boo them. And that is your right to do so. Hulk Hogan, you're a coward. You should have known better. You're too far in your own head to realize you're not that guy anymore. You need to start embracing Terry. I don't think there's a separation between Terry and Hulk Hogan anymore. He doesn't understand that. So this is a self-inflicted wound to me. Again, you can say I didn't know I was being recorded. Well, that doesn't work for me, brother. You still express your true feelings. So, Ric Flair, I have the same feelings towards you. I know you're racist. I've seen the stories, so from more than one person, same feelings.
So it reminds me. Everybody wants to know like how much Jones dislikes Hogan. Me, Jones, and Vinny were playing a game on the PC, a No Mercy modded game. Jones knows where I'm going with this. So we're playing No Mercy, and we're playing a Rumble match. Jones gets eliminated. He comes out as Hogan. Me and Vinny are laughing. Jones gets in the ring, goes to the rope, goes outside of the rope just to get eliminated.
I hope that your next entrant was a better pick.
Anybody was better than him.
The irony, though, of you, Michael, getting Hogan, you can't write that kind of stuff. But I think you've nailed it. The separation of Hulk Hogan from Terry Bollea, the line is so blurred now. They weren't booing Hulk Hogan. They were booing Terry for everything that Terry has said and done. From the tape, how long was that tape? 10 years ago, give or take.
Yeah, but if he had come out and apologized, I don't know if you guys have heard Mark Henry talking about it.
Yeah.
Mark Henry offered him, said, "Hey, get in front of this." There's a lot of celebrities don't like getting in front of stuff. They just like letting stuff just, I'll fight it. Yeah. How's that working for you? Mark Henry offered to say, "Hey, let's go on a black college tour. Go around and apologize and say how you really are." And he declined it immediately.
Do you honestly think that just kind of sweeping this under the rug is going to make this kind of stuff go away? Like, people don't forget, especially in the day and age of digital media and the way things are on the internet forever and ever.
It makes you wonder if they're going to continue with the real American beer sponsor on the ring mat. Will they keep it just because it's Hulk Hogan and his ties to the WWE? Or because of this backlash? Or, like I said, maybe they bring them back like sparingly. You know, they're not going to really bring them. There's reports that they're not really going to.
I'd love to know
maybe
if
like
there's an
a film,
outlaw.
like a video promo or something.
Even that, though, dude, there was a video promo on SmackDown, and it aired in the arena, and the fans booed the promo in the arena of him just on the Titantron cutting his promo about his beer or whatever. He doesn't even have to be in the building for them to be booing at the mere image of Hulk Hogan or Terry Bollea. This is not just, and I agree with you. Like, heat can be a good thing, but this isn't like Dom heat. This isn't part of the show. I don't think a single person really wanted to cheer when Hulk Hogan came out. If you look at the very beginning when Real American was playing, there's some people that were singing along, and then very quickly, those cheers stopped because the boos got so loud they drowned out everybody, and then people were probably looking around saying, "I don't want to cheer for this guy because I'm afraid I'm going to be attacked."
If it wasn't in California, say if it was in like Florida, do you think it would have been the same?
What was the last WrestleMania? I think it was during when they had the whole pirate theme.
That was Tampa.
That was Tampa. And
37?
He was booed when he was standing next to Titus O'Neil.
36 was the no
fan
crowd, and then they went back to
That's right.
37, right?
Yeah.
And he was booed in Florida. So without diving into the politics, two very different states, two very different political ideologies, a similar reaction. And that was a few years ago. That's not like the current political climate of the United States, or there things have changed since WrestleMania 37. But still, I think it doesn't really matter what state that they're in. I think people are going to continue to boo Hulk Hogan because they don't forget. They don't forget the tape. They don't forget the lies, the continuous lies. And the fact that even when he's trying to get the crowd to pop for guys like Andre the Giant and Macho Man, and they're booing Macho Man, or they're going side and they're booing Andre, they're not booing Andre, but you know what I'm saying, right? They're booing it because Hogan's trying to just
might be booing Andre.
Some might be, but they're booing anything
His
that comes out
story's
of
on him
Terry's
too,
mouth.
but I'm not going to speak ill of the dead.
Ooh, I know one.
You guys bring this up and then we can't talk about it.
I'll just say him and Bad News Brown.
Yep.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what they do from here. It'll be interesting to see if in other states, other Raws, Saturday night main event on the 25th, if he is even going to appear. And to bring up that comment about the beer again, I wonder if there is an out clause. I wonder if they are going to continue that partnership, or are they going to just pay his money and say, thank you very much, but we don't need you anymore. Because when I think of beer and I think of wrestling, I'm not thinking of Hulk Hogan.
No.
But I was about to say, there's another Hall of Famer with the beer that I definitely don't understand why they didn't go with him first.
And let's be, the beer is not for the kids that are watching the product. The beer is for the adults. The beer is for the parents that are taking their kids to the show, and people that are just fans of wrestling in general. But to that point, when I think of wrestling and I think of beer, I'm not thinking of Hulk Hogan. I'm thinking of the Rattlesnake, whose beer has been around now for quite a few years.
His beer is good.
Yeah.
It's delicious. I purposely, when I was in the States the last time, went to pick it up because I can't get it here. And it's delicious.
When I look at Hogan's beer, Why does Hogan's beer look like Budweiser with his label on it?
Is it a light beer?
I don't know. Like, there's a part of me that wants to try it, but like,
Has anyone either here on the screen or those watching this live that can comment, has anyone tried the Real American beer? And if so, how is it?
You
'Cause I'm
asking me
curious.
if I've tried it?
I'm just trying anybody.
Oh, what's say?
thank you, Juan. Like, Juan knows. Like, that Broken Skull IPA is amazing. Dude, there's a tavern by my house. They serve the Broken Skull IPA on tap. I'm like, oh,
that's amazing on tap. That's cool.
But it's dangerous on tap.
Yeah. Juan says that he's heard that Real American Meal is like Pabst Blue Ribbon. Jones.
I was okay.
I gotta go back and I'm gonna clip that facial reaction.
Paps is like was the other one I was gonna say.
Jeez.
Hey.
Oh, God. Oh, Bob. No.
Hold on.
Here's the thing. I just don't get it. When I'm thinking about beer and wrestling, I'm thinking about Stone Cold. Maybe that's why Stone Cold hasn't been on WWE television in a while, because they snubbed him hard with this with Hogan's Real American Beer. But that's just me speculating. We'll see if he shows up in 2 weeks on Saturday Night Main Event, and if he does, are they going to embrace that Hollywood Hulk Hogan character? Because if he's the red and yellow and he's ripping his shirt, I don't care what's underneath it. It can be Netflix. It can be a C4 crumb rind. It can be they're gonna boo the shit out of him. Okay, and that's not a knock. I'm just saying it doesn't matter what this guy is trying to promote or show. Hogan is so hated that I don't think there's coming back from this. I think he needs to just stay off our televisions and enjoy the rest of his retirement. He's got enough money. I don't want to see guys like Hogan and Flair on my screen anymore. I don't want to see any appearances of people like Ric Flair at the Royal Rumble. I don't care to see it anymore.
I just read a review on the beer.
What's the review say, Michael?
Let's see. Aroma very grassy, very grainy. It's overcarbonated.
So it's very inflated, like Hogan's head.
Yeah, some light hints of maltiness in the aftertaste, but almost no hops or other bitter aftertaste. Very watery.
So it's garbage.
Watery mouthfeel. 4.2. Oh, that's the percentage.
So 4.2.
Yeah.
Alcohol.
Yeah, and it's $13.99 for a 12-pack. Overall, not horrible for a light beer, but not particularly good either. If this is what passes for real American beer nowadays, we're doomed. Prediction: this will not stay on the market long.
That's interesting.
A 12-pack of Miller Lite goes for around $9.99 on sale. So it's a light beer, overpriced with no good taste.
King J. Sean says he'd rather have a root beer. And John Bedoy comments,
right.
Hogan quit drinking. That was he openly came out and said that he is clean and was clean. Stopped drinking, turning his life around.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing too. I know it's not directly related to Hulk Hogan himself or Terry Bollea, but I got to bring up Nick. I got to bring up Nick Hogan for a second, because on the trip to the Netflix debut show where Hogan was coming out to advertise this beer, Nick was with Jimmy Hart, and he was with one other person who was riding on the private jet to the show. People forget what happened with Nick not that long ago, getting into that car accident because of drinking and driving, and what happened to his dear friend. That's the thing I don't understand when it comes to the Boleas when it comes to Nick Hogan, and he's there with his dad on the trip. I know he wasn't on screen, but it's just not a good look associating Nick Hogan or the Hogans with alcohol.
They probably should have gone a non-alcoholic route.
Especially when you look at the market today. This isn't prime energy drink, right? AEW, I was promised I wasn't going to bring up AEW, but every now and then they do pop up. This isn't Ric Flair's Woo energy drink that was also a catastrophe that also failed, and there's Woo Wings. Like, this is going to, I don't think this is going to last. I don't think people are going to want to see it. I don't think people are going to be going to the show and buying real American beer. I think this is something that will likely die out, and they'll have to cut their losses, and they will have to just move on from it. And if they do want to sign a beer company, I think they have one of the biggest draws in the history of the company who has a very good tasting beer that they should have turned to in the first place.
That's what, like, I do not get. Like, why didn't they just do that?
I heard about this. About this,
Marabito.
and I'm very jealous, and I don't like you, Matthew Marabito. I don't like you anymore. And I'm going to say that to your face when you're in Toronto for the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, it's crazy. Oh.
So where do we go from here?
Well,
Anywhere. It's got to be up because we just went in the toilet for a
Marabito
little
said Panetta, not Penta, so we can go Penta.
This guy thinks he's funny. He thinks he's funny. I'm going to make sure that he can't enter Canada.
You know what you could do? You could scuff up his new shoes he got.
Oh,
that he's gonna be
he
wearing.
sent them to me. He sent them to me. He was very happy. I'm going to spit on his shoes.
Agree.
Absolutely, Drew. Couldn't have said it better. He doesn't watch our show, and then he tunes in, and he's just trying to kiss ass, snuggling up with Jones. You know what? When Michael Jones crosses the border, he's not coming back home. His new home is here. I can't wait till you go back. Penta, not Panetta, but Penta made his debut, and I know we've talked a lot about AEW. We've over the last year or so, and I think all generally liked Penta as a wrestler. We've been following him. We've been watching him. I think his match against Gable was better than what AEW did with him during his entire tenure with them.
Okay. I'll go first on this one. Here's what I'll say. Let's see. AEW. Penta. They never really let him be himself. They made him seem like he was just a spot fest. However, this match made 2 stars. People think it only made Penta. This match made Chad Gable. It made people pay attention to him. Because now you see why he was handpicked to be the guy to wrestle him. He was able to do the lucha style with him. This is a wrestling podcast, so I can talk in smart mark terms. The selling was done well. They let the moves breathe. Yes, Penta botched early on in the match, but he recovered. His selling of the knee injury was amazing. I was like, oh, great. He got hurt his debut match. Now
I legit thought he was hurt.
And again, Chad Gable. WWE, you made a mistake. When you went with Kurt Angle's son, that was your pick. It just made sense. A former Olympian as well. He has the pedigree. I know you wanted the shock factor with Jason Jordan. No offense to Jason Jordan. Phenomenal athlete. Sorry you're injured and can't wrestle anymore, but you're doing a hell of a good job as a producer. But Chad Gable, he needs a championship. a singles championship and a decent run with that said championship.
Give this man his flowers now. Don't come at me or anybody on this show, or I hate reading online how they're burying Chad Gable. They're not burying Chad Gable. Chad Gable showed, like you said, Jones, why they handpicked him to be the debut match against Penta. I don't think there's a better person on that roster to not only highlight Penta and elevate him to that status. I think that match alone proves that he should have a singles title between now and SummerSlam on that one match alone.
So Gable, agree, was the perfect dance partner. Gable is the type of person like Mr. Perfect was. You throw him in there, it's gonna sell, and it's gonna make you look make you look good. And Gable can go as well. I was a big fan of Gable in NXT.
American Alpha.
American Alpha, yeah, with Jason Jordan. The only thing I think that hurts Gable a little bit, but not now, is maybe his size. Like if Gable was like 6'2", 6'3", Gable would be, come on.
He would have been champion.
Yes. But Gable can go. Like Gable's an Olympic athlete. Like Gable's amazing. Like now Penta, if you've watched Penta over the years, Penta was a star in Lucha Underground. It's a wrestling promotion, not major, but people know about it. He was a star in TNA World Champion. AEW, Penta was Penta. I agree with Jones, they didn't let him go. Like Penta's a star.
He is.
And Penta also is very protective, of his mask and his face. You don't even see pictures of his face. The only time you see glimpses is when he fought Ray Phoenix in AEW.
And sometimes in Mexico, but his face is covered in blood.
Yeah, I think it was Sammy Callahan that had the mask.
Mm-hmm. Where he
little glimpses. But Penta, behind Rey Mysterio, is going to be the number one luchador. We all know that. Penta's number 2. Like, Penta's a star. Even though he's 39, I think it's perfect going to WWE at this time. I'm glad that Phoenix did not go with him right now. I'm glad that, because even though those two would have probably be brought in as a tag team, I think what Phoenix still locked up in AEW because Tony Khan's a dick. I think this showcases more.
I think Jones, you and I have the same thought right about now. It's
What?
funny you say that, Joey. Jones?
Well, if you go on AEW, shop AEW.com right now,
And you type in Ray Phoenix.
type in Ray Phoenix, you get the 404 error message, not found. And it brings down a listing of the figures and everything. The same thing's up there for.
But but I think they're just keeping him at home and just not selling his merch.
There's a chance they may. There was some rumors between the last couple of days, actually the last few hours, potentially he may have quietly been let go.
I hope
So-
that's the case.
So I was gonna say is I'm glad that Penta's there by himself right now, because you could showcase Penta more. You saw when WWE released the mask and the shirts on the shop. Penta has a bigger platform. Penta did botch a little bit in the beginning, especially when he went to do the jump on the rope and do the leg drop, the spin,
He hasn't wrestled a match in how long?
But I think WWE's ring is different than AEW's ring.
That's true.
It's also a bigger stage. You remember,
Yeah.
there's fans on both sides of the camera.
Yeah. But Penta has that charisma. When he was coming in, I'm like, man, I think he needs a speaker, someone to speak for him.
Yeah.
He still does.
Yeah.
Yes.
His English is good though.
Got a little
and he'll
English.
get that soon.
Yeah, he's got a little English, but if you have not really seen Penta, dude, you're in for like I said, man, Penta has charisma. Penta is I don't want to say this word because it gets thrown around a lot, but he is. Like, remember when they brung Andrade? Everybody thought Andrade was going to be like the next one, you know? I love Andrade. I love Andrade's ring work, especially when he was in NXT. He was phenomenal. But Andrade doesn't have the charisma like Penta does. The way Penta moves, the way he sells. Like, man, I'll tell you this. One thing I loved. The Mexican Destroyer is what Pat McAfee said.
Yeah.
Guess what? They both laid there for a while.
Did you see how Chad sold that?
Yeah.
But Penta laid there.
Yeah.
Chad didn't get up and try to do it on Penta. No.
Oh, like how Little Pockets and him exchange Canadian Destroyers?
Yes.
5 of them, 6 of them in a row?
Well, like, I read on, reports that Penta, they don't know if he's going to be a face. He'll probably be a tweener, which I think is perfect. Yeah. Penta could play heel or face. But
He's a better heel, but yeah.
Dude, Penta's a star. I'm sorry. I'm going to say this, but he is a star. Like, they're going to keep him, probably push him in the upper echelon main event.
I want to know.
But if Rey Fenix comes in, then what happens?
Here's what you do if you're going to do that, because he's about to get jumped.
Okay. Yeah.
He's about to get jumped by Damage Control because they still have beef from Lucha Underground.
That's true.
But you have him win the Intercontinental or the U.S. title, have a decent run with it, drop the belt, then by some chicanery and somebody jumps him, and he just can't. The odds are stacked against him. Then you sneak in Rey Fenix. Now you can have that tag team run. You have them get out. Like this year, you need to do that because you need to get out some feuds because I don't know how long these other wrestlers are going to be around for some of these teams. Have them go against the Machine Guns. Have them go against the Usos. Have them go against Gorillas of Destiny. That's what I'm calling them. So have them go against AOP. So just have them go against the real tag teams. I want them to go off against Fraxium too. Even though they're still in NXT, I need to see Fraxium have some stiffer competition for some of the teams on the main roster.
I got 2 things that I think for him for WrestleMania. Him versus Braun Breaker for the IC title would be nice. Or him and Rey Fenix if they do that ladder match for the tag titles again. Because you know what those two do. I mean,
yeah, the sky's the limit for him.
I was gonna say if you were to list one dream match with Penta, because when you think about AEW, all they can do are kind of like potential dream matches, and the production and the style and the lack of creativity. Even if it's a dream match on paper, it doesn't really play out to be the dream match that everybody was hoping for. WWE has so much talent, and we've talked about this time and time again. The roster is so stacked now. What's your dream match for Penta now that they've brought him in and we got just a taste of what we are going to see with him on Monday Night Raw? Who do you want to see him fight? You guys mentioned Braun Breaker. I think that's an incredible match. I think the name Rey Mysterio is one of those dream matches that a lot of people want to see, Luchador versus Luchador. But who do you guys want to see?
This isn't my pick, but I'd rather see him versus Santos Escobar before Rey Mysterio.
I can see that.
But there's only one pick for me.
I have 2.
Let's hear them.
Who is it? AJ.
AJ Styles.
I have 2. Rollins and Finn Balor.
Not mad with either one of them as well.
Those are both heavy, man. Those are good. I'm gonna bring up Tav's comment. He brings up a couple of good ones. Penta versus Rey, Dom, Andrade, Nakamura.
Him and this Nakamura would be great.
This version of Shinsuke versus Penta, I gotta say that's probably my dream match. I would love to see Nakamura and Penta go.
some reports that I read was like his merch was amazing. Like it was selling.
There were a lot of people on camera that already had his mask in the audience.
I kind of want it too. Like I'm like,
John Bedoy said earlier in the show when we first brought this topic up that he's never seen Penta wrestle until Monday. If you're not, watching other promotions and you've never seen Penta before, now he's on the big stage. Now you're going to see just how good he is. And I think even at 39, if he can stay healthy, and I'm sure that a lot of people are saying, he was wrestling much slower in a WWE ring than he does in AEW. Yeah, because they don't want him to kill himself. They don't want him to get hurt. And the fact that he sold his leg the way he did and all of us gasped and thought, oh, geez, at his debut match he got hurt, shows you the kind of worker that he is. I don't want to see him, like we mentioned before, do 5 or 6 Canadian destroyers or Mexican destroyers or whatever they're going to call it in a row, because that takes away the finesse of that move. That should be a very impactful finisher.
watching those two on Raw, like I told Jones this, it's like, dude, I want to see more of these two wrestle. Like,
yep,
the chemistry was there. Like, even though like it botched a little bit, I'm sure it could have been nerves for Penta as well.
I say he
First
had
time
all
being
his
in
daughters in
WWE.
the front row. They were crying for their dad, so of course. Me too, Drew. Me too.
But I agree. Yeah, that was me. But
Almost bought that damn belt because of him.
the gift of gods.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
a. You have space for that?
It's a Joe size belt. I might not anymore, but
I was going to say you've got some goodies coming.
Got some hardware coming.
But I think Penta's post-match promo was kind of like a dig at AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is where I should have been. And now you're gonna see the Penta.
Oh. I need to.
Now you're gonna see the
Jones is
Penta
off
era.
screen right now for a reason. Tab. That's all I can say.
I'll say Penta versus Gunther too, with the chops and everything.
They
Like,
fought before.
I know, but still.
But I'm saying it was a good match. I'm just saying, but they fought before.
On this stage, whether you saw him in Lucha Underground or you are a casual wrestling viewer, just his look, just his merch, just the way he walked out, his theme song. Do we know who wrote his theme song? It was a banger.
I just hope it wasn't who I think it was.
Yeah, I don't think it was, but it was pretty damn good. It was he's got that aura to him, and now he's going to be seen on the big stage.
Mm-hmm.
People are already making them on 2K24. They've already updated the.
I have them on there.
There you go.
But
I wonder if Bob has them too.
Yeah, I think I'm sure Bob does. I wonder if they'll sell the gloves too as well.
Oh,
They should.
Yeah, that was like they had this ready.
Yeah, because it said.
And on the one hand, like for a split second, I was a little upset that it was leaked or revealed before he came out.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Cole said it was the best, worst kept secret.
But he
right?
still got that pop though.
He
Like
did.
when he came out, it was.
And there were
I was
people
wondering-
that were saying his catchphrase. People do know him.
Like
And
I
did
was
you see
wondering.
the social media numbers?
Yeah, how was the fact that all his videos were more than combined debuts of Will Ospreay, Mercedes Moné, and Okada in AEW?
Over 2 million views just on X alone. And that was as of yesterday. I don't know what the tally is at right now, but you had this guy. This is now we can add him to the list of AEW wrestlers who have left AEW, who are now in WWE, and they've already been treated better in such a short period of time than their entire tenure with that
I'm
promotion.
not gonna say I'm not gonna buy a Penta shirt when I go to Raw. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like it's just.
How much is his mask? $79, $80?
About
$80.
$80.
That's not bad.
It's really not. It depends on the quality.
Yeah, I'd like to know if it's more like a fabric or is it more like a lucha actual mask.
Because remember, I think it was High Spots was selling luchador masks for a long. I wonder if they still do.
I think they still do. Um,
Quietly.
dude, there's a lot that we're gonna see just out of Penta. I mentioned a moment ago that people have already added him to 2K24. They've already added the Netflix ring and set. A lot of incredible creators in the community that always add custom wrestlers from different promotions or different time periods. But speaking of video games, 2K25, do we have an official release day? It's usually in March.
March usually.
Around our birthdays, where it comes out. Look at a couple stills that they released a few days ago. I'm curious to hear your thoughts, gentlemen, on just the idea of 2K25, the rumors that you're hearing about 2K25, your initial thoughts and impressions, and what you're hoping to see out of this video game. Because just looking at these pictures alone, this looks incredible from a visual standpoint, but I know it's so much more than a visual. What are you guys hearing? Are you looking forward to it, and are you going to buy it?
I'm on video game, Mark. I'm going to buy it no matter what. But
You seem offended that I even asked you.
No, it's not that it's no question, but it's just like Plus, this is probably going to be the first official. Well, this will be the first official video game with Jacob Fatu on it, so I definitely would be buying it.
100%.
I will laugh if they make you wait, and he's in a
Is it
download
DLC?
pack.
It's going to be a DLC. Penta will be a DLC, I imagine.
Penta might be a launch release.
Hmm.
Because sometimes they sneak people in depending upon the popularity.
That's true. I wonder if they will already have the Netflix Raw ring, or if that will be something that will be added later too, because the production happened a lot earlier.
That'd be nice.
The rings aren't hard to add in.
Nah.
But it might be slightly delayed because the WrestleMania ring always comes after WrestleMania.
That's right.
And I don't mind a hologram mask. Hologram's not a bad wrestler. I don't hate AEW. I want them to succeed. They don't want to succeed. That's the problem. It's not on me. It's on them.
Not a commander?
Commander, here's the thing. I'm jumping because people keep bringing it up. AEW needs to succeed.
Yeah.
If right now they're in a very weird place. Your biggest storyline, I can't understand what's going on. I don't know if your wrestlers knows what's going on.
What's the biggest storyline, Jones, for
their
the
biggest story right now is the Death Riders. I believe that's what they refer to.
Oh, Moxley's group.
And
you lost credibility.
And
rated FTR.
Yeah, rated FTR.
No, it's just Cope. I can't cope with this show right now.
Two guys, one Cope. That should be the name of their faction. That'll sell T-shirts.
Well, the way they do things, it would work.
Cope.
AEW, I want you to succeed. What used to be your strong point is now your weak point. The tag team division used to be leaps and bounds above everyone else. Now it's just like I forget sometimes who your tag team champions are.
Mm-hmm.
But since I know who they are right now, shout out to Private Party. Good job on winning. But
make it credible. Make them credible. Give them some defenses.
Where's your tag teams? Where's your wrestlers? Where's Ricky Starks? Where's this alleged heat on Malachi Black? Oh yeah, I'm calling him Aleister Black because I expect him back at the Rumble.
Yep, number 30.
Nah, not that late.
I don't know, man. I think I'm hearing like February or March, but it could be sooner.
It could be. Depends. There's a lot of rumors surrounding whether or not he's actually done now, and if he is, where the hell is Miro? Where's Rusev?
His merch is still on the site. His merch is still on the site. Keith Lee's merch is still on the site. Ricky Starks merch is still on the site.
Oh my lord!
Free Ricky Starks.
Yep, get that hashtag going, loud and proud.
For those looking for wrestling to watch, Genesis is Saturday. Watch TNA. I can say this on the show freely now without people judging me because TNA is actually watchable again.
It is. And we just have to confirm the date. I'll plug it in right now. We will be having Moose on our show tentatively. Not sure if we're going to be able to schedule him in next week after the big pay-per-view this week, or if it will be in the coming weeks, but that is still on our list of some of the interviews that we have lined up. We will have Moose and special guest Brandon from Snaps and Straps. So back to the video game. You guys are going to be buying it. I know Vinny. Shout out to Vinny. I know Vinny's going to be buying it. He's if he has time to play the game. But
I always buy the top tier of the game. I still play 24.
I'll be honest, I haven't touched it in like 6-7 months.
So Vinny and me have been going back and forth about 2K25. Like he's been sending me stills and doing all this stuff. And then when they announced the world, like how they do in NBA 2K, you know, Vinny's so excited, the open world. He's like, yo, man, we can go anywhere. We're going to play in Connecticut, bro. I'm like, we're going to be in Saudi Arabia of all places. Like, it's going to be crazy. Like, if that happens,
yeah,
what they're planning to do, it's going to be crazy. I just hope they do it right. Which they should. I mean, it's 2K, so 2K, NBA, you know, WWE. But I wonder how it'll be in WWE. So I'm looking forward to the game. Can't wait.
We'll hear more about it soon. There's a lot of video game news that is coming out this time of year. Robert, thank you very much. Now, look at the time. We've been on for a little over an hour. But I told you guys at the beginning of the show I had a little game for you. Because we'll end the show with the talk about video games and 2K25. And I know we've talked a lot about arguably the greatest video game of all time. The greatest wrestling video game.
I still have that game
of all time. I still play this game.
I do too.
Incredible. But before the success of No Mercy, and I know we've mentioned this video game before as well, there was WrestleMania 2000.
Yes.
And No Mercy kind of rode the coattails from the success of WrestleMania 2000. This was the best wrestling video game, and still is in many respects to this day. And then No Mercy kind of took this and ran with it, improved it, and here we are years later still talking about it, still playing with it. But do you guys remember what the wrestlers looked like in WrestleMania 2000?
Are
you confident that you can identify
I can
the wrestlers?
I know
Listen.
I can as well.
Listen.
Okay,
I played World Tour, and then there was Revenge. And Revenge was great because you had wars with your friends on Revenge. And then WrestleMania 2000 came out. Then I was like, oh.
That was the first time I
Mercy
really let you create a character.
Oh
I want to hear. I want to hear it in the chat. So it sounds like Jones and Joey are ready to just rip this game up. So maybe we'll give the chat.
Can we play the Union theme song? Union.
I want
because Big Show was in this game, but not No Mercy.
That's right. So there's a couple characters. We're gonna play this game, and we'll give the audience an opportunity to answer before you guys do on the screen, because I think there's a good chance that both Joey and Jones are gonna get like 13 for 13 or 14 for 14 out of this game. So it's more for you guys than it is for these gentlemen on the screen. And we still have a pretty good audience right now. So for those of you watching, and if you want to play along in the chat, let us know. We'll give you a little bit of time. We're going to guess who the wrestler is from WrestleMania 2000. Because for those of you who don't know, the still pictures, the profile pictures on the characters in WrestleMania 2000 were very animated. They were very pixelated. And when No Mercy came out, they actually used a much more realistic still for the character selection. So this is why we're going to be looking at WrestleMania 2000. Video games have come a long way. And I'm going to start off easy, at least what I think is easy. But if you guys could look at the chats, because I'll be going through the media. let's go through a number of characters and try and identify who they are based off their looks. I think everybody watching, not just Joey and Jones, will get this first one in a matter of a second or two.
Jeez.
Come on.
I gotta
Come
start
on.
easy. I gotta
Come
start
on.
easy. Now, if you want to be specific, what version of this persona or character is it?
Is the Ministry of Darkness.
That is correct. It is the Ministry of
You can
Darkness.
see the Ministry logo on his chest.
Yes.
And he came out with the robe.
Yep.
Absolutely. If you guys want to bring up some comments on the screen too, while we go through this, by all means.
Everybody got it right.
Yeah. See the chat blowing up. Okay, let's we're gonna throw you some softballs. All right, let's go through this one.
The eyebrow doesn't give it away.
Socko.
Dick
Dog.
dog.
Break it down.
Everybody knows this is it. All right. Throwing these softies to you. I gotta warm you guys up because if I just go to the hard ones, you guys are gonna get a little upset. Okay, you see, it's getting a little bit harder. Not as easy as the first two.
I mean,
Still pretty obvious.
yeah, I mean, this is a pretty good game to play.
Chat, who is it?
Everybody knows Triple H.
Everybody knows it's Triple H. That's right.
Triple Achi.
All right. So let's see this one here, right here.
Come on.
Technically, this is right.
I think he was talking about Hunter.
No, but technically, this is right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a hint. Who is this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, they got it. It's Mr.
Union Big Show.
That is correct. There's some Paul White.
Ha!
Canada's favorite hero.
Oh, please. Get out of here. Who is it, chat?
Bedoy.
How many else got it?
Oh,
Okay.
everybody.
Everybody's got it. Here's a favorite. I hope Carmine's watching.
Wow.
Is that Jones's high school picture?
Oh my goodness.
Looking at the real deal now. Kick your sorry ass off the screen.
George, your headphones are gonna fall. All right, let's do the next one.
Crazy.
Oh man.
Your
Don't
future
piss me
AEW champion.
Just don't piss me off. Okay.
Wanda, you guys are getting it. Mike Martelli, he knows his video games.
Jeez.
I love the faces, man.
Didn't we just talk about this guy?
Yeah, we just talked about two guys, one cope. No, it's cope now. One. All right, let's see if you get this.
Nope. We finally got one wrong.
Oh, Bedoy, that is not. That is Edge. That is Edge. How
Look at
about this
Juan.
one?
Ooh.
Come on.
Well played, Juan. Well played.
Wow, Juan, you bonus points.
This ain't the right to censor one. Huh? That'll come in the next game.
Well done. You guys are better than I thought. Bedoy wasn't alive when this game came out.
Really?
I don't think so, man. Was he like 25?
When were you born, Bedoy?
Yeah.
He might have just been born when the game actually was released. Bedoy, I know we're putting you on the spot right now, but
93.
Oh.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, you
were
were.
like 7.
you're not even that young. Come on. All right, this one kills me.
Jeez. With that horrible music.
If I would have told you back then, how many DUIs do you think this guy would have?
Jeez.
Guess
Okay,
you can
he's on his redemption story right now.
Guess you can see the writings on the wall.
Oh,
This would make sense, but it's
I
not.
get that. I see that. This is why I put this near the end.
Yeah.
It is not Raven. Drew, you're right. It is Jeff Hardy. But look how. Okay, but when was Jeff ever this heavy? Really?
Well,
He doesn't even have a neck.
Well, you know the video game adds 15.
All right, we've got 3 more. We've got 3 more for you guys.
Wow.
Who is it?
The time is coming, going forwards. 1,000 threats I've heard before. Words cheap.
That's a good.
The very first TNA champion.
All right, 2 more, guys.
Come on.
Is his eye crooked?
No,
not
it's straight in
that.
this one.
Straight in this one.
Why was he in this game? He was retired.
Very much so.
Right? It's the Heartbreak Kid. And last but not least, John Bedoy. Let's see if you get this one. All right, Mr. 93.
Come on, Bedoy. He's a hardcore champion.
We should just spell it out for him.
How do you like me now? Hey.
Hardcore Holly. Sparky plug.
Hardcore Holly. Hey, most of you guys got it. Most of you guys got it. You did really well. I hope that was fun. Nothing too hard, but for some of the younger audience, you might not know who those were. But yeah, video games have certainly come a long way. But nothing beats the classics.
Wait till you try like Revenge or World Tour. Everybody's gonna be like,
Yeah, those are hard for even peep because everybody looks alike.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Too easy. Too easy.
Here's what I'm going to say. For those that do choose to watch, again, TNA Genesis this weekend, I'm predicting 2 title changes in the main event.
Sorry, what was that, Jones?
So I'm predicting 2 title changes in the main event. I have Joe Hendry finally claiming the big one.
ugh.
And becoming TNA World Champion.
I don't know why you're so upset about that, Joey.
However, Kazarian's calling his shot and walking out TNA champion.
Holy. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I can see it. I can see it.
Kind of look like Angle a little bit too. But he first appeared in No Mercy.
And I might be taking a picture with the TNA champion sometime this month. Actually, next month. Early next month.
You've got a few good things lined up, Mr. Jones.
Nice.
You've got a big parcel on the way soon.
Yeah.
You've got a trip with Matthew Mirabito lined up.
Must be nice.
Here I am just being a schmuck going to Elimination Chamber. But I've got everybody coming to me. I've got everybody flying in because I'm exclusive that way.
Hey, I didn't get invited on this little trip.
You can blame Matthew Mirabito for that. Don't blame Michael Jones.
Yeah, definitely wasn't. This wasn't planned. It was.
See how this is.
Before we call it a night, I'm gonna plug our belt group, All Elite Belts, because we have I know we're not a belt podcast, but still, I'm gonna speak to the masses and get it out there. We have a good raffle going out right now. You can win a dual-plated winged eagle made by Classic Shields. John Bedoy, I know he's watching tonight. One night in Toronto. Listen, you just won a very beautiful belt, and you put up the incredible videography that you have, Mr. Bedoy, of that Classic Shields winged eagle, all gold winged eagle that I know Michael Jones really wanted. Yeah, it is a waffle for Facebook. For those of you that don't get that, but
And
there is.
yes, Mr. Beefy, I'm still committed.
At least you're going to SummerSlam. I wish Michael Jones was coming to Elimination Chamber, but he doesn't love me as much as Mike Martelli does and Matthew Mirabito.
Well, one of those whores didn't even tell me he bought tickets and just did it.
Well, see, Joey, we have to blame Matthew for everything. We do.
Yep.
We really do. But the next waffle that is coming up, I actually have it in hand. I have the winged eagle in hand too, but the other one is right here. For those of you who would like a chance to win a Classic Shields HD 2K Big Eagle, that'll be the next one lined up. But you have to join all elite belts.
When's the block logo?
He turned super red. Jeez.
Breathe.
Breathe.
Holy
Super
shit,
villain.
Joey, breathe. I don't know when the block logo is coming up, but this one is in next in queue. There's also going to be a block logo IC also in queue. So there's some
Red logo or classic?
classic. Just letting you guys know, because I got the inside scoop. You know?
That classic may have to come home.
Well, King J. Sean, I'll have to let you know because I think you missed a couple, and then you commented afterwards. You're a little upset that you missed out on it, but join it. It's fun, guys. For $25, you can win a pretty high-end bootleg belt. So just our way to give back to the hobby, and yeah, have fun. Nothing will be canceled in our group. No fan dues will die in our group like they did elsewhere. But Jesus Christ, fucking neckbeards that don't get out of their mother's basement, bro.
I hate to say it, I kind of like that FanDuel US title.
Dude, I like the different
What?
color straps.
Yeah, it's got 3 different colors on the strap from what I saw.
But the blue has the red in the back. Like,
Mm-hmm. The blue
Now,
red.
when's the
rock
pre-order
color.
for that?
It's
the pre-order's
up
now.
It's
The
on
pre-order's
now. It's up now.
$2.99.
And it's
Yeah.
shipping after Chinese New Year when they come back from their holiday.
Yeah, February 21st is the official ship date right now.
So you
But
know
the
what?
pre-order's only like I forget when it's till. But
I'm gonna message Webb and I'm gonna ask him if he wants to share a little bit about that. Maybe we'll bring him on the show. You know, with the time difference and things like that, but we can pull some strings and see what happens. But yeah, guys, it's been a while since we've done this. This has been fun. Nice to come back and pound the meat with you, gentlemen.
It just sounded so bad.
I wanted it to sound that way.
I know it was intentional.
So, with that in mind, nice image for you guys to end the night. Michael Jones, Joe Batanza, any final words before we get out of here?
it's not true, Juan.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
It's been fun. Gentlemen, have a good night, and to everyone watching it live, and for those of you watching it at a later point, thank you for joining us, watching Pounding the Meat, and we'll see you next week.